Don't get this wrong ever again. When you see a square root question like this, what we're not going to do is add these two together. So 50 plus 8 is not equal to the square root of 58. You'd be wrong. Instead, I have to remember this row math. Anytime that the square root of a times b, that's simply just equal to the square root of a times the square root of b. So in that case, when I see the square root of 50, how can I break this down? What are some factors of 50? Well, I know it's going to equal to 1 times 50, and then 5 times 10, but most importantly, it's equal to 25 times 2. So the square root of 50 is equal to the square root of 25 times the square root of 2. 25 times 2 is 50, and the square root of 25 is just 5 times the square root of 2, which is 5 root 2. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the square root of 8. What are some factors of 8? It's going to be 1 times 8, but most importantly, 4 times 2. So the square root of 8 just becomes square root of 4 times the square root of 2. 4 times 2 is 8. And then the square root of 4, that's just equal to 2, so it gives me 2 root 2. And when I'm adding it together, square root of 50, which is 5 root 2, plus the square root of 8, which is 2 root 2. When I add them together, I'm just adding 5 plus 2, which is going to give you 7. And when you're adding radicals, you just keep the root 2. So your final answer, 7 root 2.